I think I'm going to go by the Comedy Store and pay my respects to Mitzi Shore, because I spent in the last year probably about 25 times at the Comedy Store. I went there a lot this past year. And as a audience member, and it makes me kind of want to try it. I mean, I've done maybe 4 open mics so far as a comedian. I'm probably not that good at it yet, but I think I could be. But, I don't know. I just really love comedy. It's something that makes me feel better in life. I don't know. So many people I saw at the Comedy Store in the past year, and so many of them, are mourning the loss of Mitzi Shore, who's actually Pauly Shore's mother. And I would like to say something about Pauly Shore. I think it was the first night I went to the Comedy Store about a year ago, or maybe a year and a month ago or so. Pauly performed, and he was really funny, you guys. He's a really good stand-up, I think. There's arguments that, nepotism, his mom. But you know what? His mom was hard on him. First time he ever performed in front of her, she was like, "You're terrible." They had their relationship was really difficult for many years when he wanted to be a stand-up comic. So I don't really buy that nepotism thing so much, There is a certain amount of if your parents do something, you're more kind of drawn to it because it's around. But they had a few other kids that didn't get into comedy besides him. So you have to have that motivation also, we all have different opportunities in our background. And I guess it's like when somebody is born into something and then they do it, people give them a hard time about it. But the truth of the matter is talent is talent. And, talent is also something you can work on. And he obviously decided to work on it. His brother didn't. His brother is more like a businessman or whatever. So, you can't just say it's all because his mom or dad or whatever, But anyway, some other people I've seen at the Comedy Store in the last year: Chris D'Elia, Bobby Lee several times, Joe Rogan, Joey Coco Diaz, Bill Burr, Lucas Hurl, Dean Delray. I'm just naming stuff off the top of my head. Earl Skakel. I've seen Don Barris's Ding Dong Show a lot of times, also because if I was broke and I couldn't afford the 2-drink minimum and all that, I would go to the Ding Dong Show, Or there's not even an admission fee for it, so you could just go to that on Monday nights. I went to that several times. Tony Hinchcliffe, Josh Martin, Brian Redband, what's his name? Brody Stevens, who I think is hilarious. I mean, all those people are hilarious. That's just people off the top of my head. And then lots of people that are lesser known but still really good, I saw Ari Shaffir host a open mic. I saw Theo Vaughn host an open mic. They call it a potluck on Monday nights. And I think you have to get there super early. And I don't feel like I'm good enough to even do the potluck yet, because I want to do several open mics out at other places before I attempt to do that. So I've done Flappers a couple of times, and I did this thing in San Francisco called The Brainwash. So I think I've done about 3 or 4 open mics so far. I think the first one was on May 21st of last year. It was my grandmother's birthday. She would have been 105. So on her 105th birthday was my first time doing stand-up. And I was 41, so that's really old to start doing stand-up. So I'm not saying I'm necessarily going to make it or something as a stand-up comedian, although people do make it sometimes in their older age. But I think it's a good thing to do. I think it's good to be able to stand up in front of people and make jokes, regardless of whether you're trying to make a living at it or not. There's a lot of things that are good to learn how to do, and that's just one of them. Anyway, I think that my meter is running out, so I have to move.